Welcome, you are still watching NewsAt8. Now, as we approach the end of 2024, Church of Uganda Family TV is engaging church leaders to reflect on the impact of various church organizations. Today, we spoke to Reverend Andrew Agaba, the Provincial Director of Household and Community Transformation, who shared insights on their milestones, challenges, and plans for 2025, while urging families to save during this festive season. Let us take a look.
As we draw closer to the end of the year 2024, Church of Uganda Family TV is closely engaging church leaders to assess the impact of different church organizations and arms. Today we spoke to the Provincial Director of Household and Community Transformation, Reverend Andrew Agaba, who started by explaining the role of the Directorate.
The Directorate of Household and Community Transformation has programs that are focused on socio-economic transformation of our individuals in the Church of Uganda, our households in the country, and every other community that we get in touch with. We have three mandates. One is to enhance the potential of households for sustainable development. Secondly is to ensure proper care and nurture of natural resources for socio-economic development.
Reverend Agaba shared some of the significant milestones achieved in the year 2024.
We started with a retreat that helped us to refocus our direction by looking at the challenges of 2023, looking at the achievements, and formulating plans for achieving in the year 2024. We also celebrate that at Bira Vocational Training College, though we have not reached at the first floor, but we have commenced the construction of a new administrative block that we have tagged Kazimba Administration Block.
He also mentioned some dioceses that have performed well in regards to household development.
We also continue to celebrate a lot of things that have taken place in different dioceses. We know, like the Diocese of Ankole, they have started processing and producing coffee, which they are selling both in Uganda and outside Uganda. We also celebrate other dioceses like South Ankole that have done well. We also celebrate other innovations that are being made, like in Central Uganda. We celebrate the achievements made in Kumi.
Notably, the director notes some of the challenges faced in 2024, putting some emphasis on lack of funds to smoothly help in operations of the directorate.
We have seen an economic decline in the country. Of course, our work is facilitated by money, and there's instability in the economic situation of our country, Uganda, especially the year 2024, has not gone smoothly. We also had a challenge of decline of prices for tea, especially in the Kigezi region and Ankole, those who are dealing in tea. We have seen tea gardens being uprooted. We have seen some of them have lost their jobs, some factories are closing, and this means a lot on the economic situation within our country.
In 2025, Reverend Agaba says there will be a lot of fundraising to ensure that there is enough money to have activities done.
We want to gather our strengths and continue establishing sustainable development projects. Like in the year 2024, we rally everybody's efforts to come and support us. We would like to establish a new accommodation facility at Lueza Training and Conference Center that befits the 21st century, which will improve our accommodation within that facility.
He shares his end-of-year message by encouraging people to save money during the festive season, since it will be required at the beginning of the year, like for school fees.
We know that Christmas is being celebrated in different areas of our country, and as a Director of Household and Community Transformation, there are going to be massive parties within households, I know people are going to spend, celebrate, and do a lot of things. But we urge you that there's school fees for the coming term. There's a lot of expenditure due to take place within the coming month. We need to do things sparingly. For those that are engaged in saving schemes, please reserve some resources that will support you as we start the new year.
Well, despite the challenges, we still thank God for the successes recorded throughout the year. And of course, remember, you need to save even as the festive season comes. Do not get too excited, but remember to save even as the new year approaches. Well, aside from that, musicians have been warned against engaging in vulgar, obscene and immoral acts, particularly during stage performances. This warning follows numerous complaints lodged with the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development regarding the increasing number of inappropriate performances by musicians. The ministry has sternly advised all musicians performing during this festive season to conduct themselves responsibly and maintain decorum in their performances. The report.
According to the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Honorable Betty Amwangi Akina, they are working with Uganda Communications Commission to handle the issue of musicians who perform immoral acts on the stage promoting obscenity in the country. This was addressed during a press briefing at the Uganda Media Center today.
We have issued and written a letter to UCC. UCC has already issued a warning. I'm sure you've
Well, I beg your pardon. However, in the ongoing fight against cattle theft, which tends to spike during the festive season, the Uganda Police Force has criticized the judiciary for undermining efforts to curb the vice by occasionally granting bail to individuals convicted of animal theft. Speaking to journalists this morning, police spokesperson Rusoke Chituma pointed out that many perpetrators of cattle theft, despite having a criminal record, are often granted bail by the courts, allowing them to reoffend. We have the report.
There is a tendency, which was observed, that there are numerous forged veterinary documents being used to transport animals out of the district. So at times, when some of these people encounter regulatory bodies on checkpoints, they present documents, but when documents at times are forged. Additionally, officers also noted the use of fake license plates. During this operation, fake license plates on vehicles were used to transport stolen animals. So that one was an observation, and we are seriously addressing it, and the culprits are surely going to be taken on. Criminals in this trade have also been utilizing saloon cars. I think this one we have communicated it even before, that whereas people are always expecting that an average cow or a number of goats should be transported on a canter or a fuso, there are people who transport them in saloon cars. How? If it is a cow, they slaughter it, get the flesh or beef, and park it behind, in the behind boot. Now, some of these cars pass even checkpoints as normal private cars, but whereas inside their boots, they are packed with the stolen beef of stolen animals. Similarly, there are those who don't even go to the extent of slaughtering. They simply get a live cow, and force it behind. So you find that a cow is forced inside, but the behind seat of the car. Now that one is also an observation they have made.
The impassable road that is on Mubende, Kasanda, this was due to heavy rainfall, and that road between Mubende and Kasanda at a place called Kalongo is currently impassable. And the alternative routes are from Kampala to Mubende. These are advised to use Hoima Road to Chiboga via Kakumiro to Mubende and vice versa. To Fort Potro, proceed to Hoima, Kagadi via Chenjojo, then to Fort Potro. And a joint team from UNRA and police is on site assessing the situation and working on a response. Remember to exercise caution and follow all traffic guidelines during your journey on that road.
Now, the Chisoro District NRM flag party bearers accuse National Executive Committee to have participated in losing a seat of Chisoro District Women Member of Parliament. Rose Kabajeni, representing the National Resistance Movement, lost to independent candidate Grace Akifeza, sparking a series of controversies and accusations. Several NRM flag bearers and local leaders from Chisoro have expressed their discontent, attributing the party's loss to arrogance and poor leadership within the party's National Executive Committee. Let us take a look.
The NRM flag bearers in Chisoro District have accused the National Executive Committee for contributing to the loss of the Chisoro District Women Member of Parliament seat. Rose Kabajeni, the NRM candidate, lost to Honorable Grace Akifeza on 14th to 24. NOS Mashaija, the LCC chairperson of Buchimbiri Sub-County, stated that the criticism and abuse directed at Dr. Freeman Mateke played a role in this outcome. Emana Odia, former Chisoro District Speaker, stated that Chisoro voters choose an independent candidate after some NRM members insulted Mzee Mateke, claiming he lost his daughter, Sarah Mateke, and would lose to Grace Akifeza as well. This angered the people and influenced their decision.
During the campaign, people were using abusive language, accusing Dr. Mateke that he has lost his daughter, he is also going to lose Akifeza in the same way. Yes. So they played on our psychology, and we said this psychology will not get worse.
Rois Bishubeho stated that some Catholic leaders in Kabare should take responsibility for sowing division by promoting religious tensions which awakened the sleeping lion among Anglicans. This led many Anglicans to support and vote for Grace Akifeza.
The Catholics have this one, Protestants have this one. And the Protestants, we are not talking, they never say anything to be sincere. The Catholics, they came abroad, they said, for us, ours is for cigarette.
Nora Nyiramahoro, representing the people of Nyabwishenye sub-county at district level, stated that these problems were chosen by vote lining. She urged the NRM to abolish the lining system.
Ekitamu yaje kwija mukiheho niko kateganyiza abantu umuntu abinci bagira ngo akaruru nanda kakuha ko hagopa mu mugongo babari kundeba ryakakuha mu bafu so chareta kugira ngo uwafika mu furaga bera tiara bamo hakuba kakatari mu bafu.
Dr. Freeman Mateke, chairman of the NRM party in Chisoro district, stated that people of Chisoro do not tolerate arrogance or being looked down upon. He attributed the issues to Dr. Tango Doi, who he claimed that manipulated results during the primary election. Dr. Mateke added that he supported the independent candidate as a way to prevent people from voting for the National Unity Platform, as many were very angry about the primary election results.
Without giving us an opportunity to select our candidates freely.
Alhaji Moses Chigongo, the first vice chairman of the NRM party, acknowledged the issues raised and stated that NEC is aware of what happened. He emphasized that reconciliation would be key to resolving everything.
We will remain divided. Don't we need each other? The movement unites all of us, and we are supposed to be one. That's how we can move fast.
He stated that he is in Kisoro district for reconciliation and that NRM values every person in the district.
Where we came from and where we are now, we shouldn't bring those things which we had left behind. Shouldn't. Me, I'm here for reconciliation. And in school, I'm here. Nobody is reporting to me, I'm just hearing it from you, and I know. And that's what I'm going to discuss with the chairman.
Now, musicians have been warned against engaging in vulgar, obscene and immoral acts, particularly during stage performances. This warning follows numerous complaints lodged with the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development regarding the increasing number of inappropriate performances by musicians. The ministry has sternly advised all musicians performing during this festive season to conduct themselves responsibly and maintain decorum in their performances. Let us take a look.
According to the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Honorable Bulletin Akina, they are working with Uganda Communications Commission to handle the issue of musicians who perform immoral acts on the stage promoting obscenity in the country. This was addressed during a press briefing at the Uganda Media Center today.
We have issued and written a letter to UCC. UCC has already issued a warning. I'm sure you have seen it. It has even withdrawn the license for one of the musicians and banned the playing of their music. So as government, we are working with UCC to ensure, and police are on alert to ensure that if any of those artists are playing obscene language or obscene performance, they are immediately reported.
She warned all the performing artists to act responsibly, especially during this festive season, in order to avoid being banned from the industry.
So we have given opportunity to the events managers and events organizers to sit and come with a clear guideline of those performing. So we do not want to go direct now to events manager and managers before we engage them. That engagement is ongoing.
Among other key issues she highlighted was the violence against the children and women, stating that during this season, many undergo gender-based violence and other acts such as rape, and called upon the men to refrain from engaging in violent acts and urged the public at large to report such cases.
The period is difficult to find enforcement officers. We also urge you to call police immediately when you when you encounter such abuse, and encourage all the enforcement officer and police to please support our people to ensure that they are protected during this period when most of the human resource for government is not available.
However, she also highlighted some of the achievements that the government has recorded in the terms of labor externalization, including the repatriation of the Ugandans back to the country, stating that the minister's mandate has been achieved, so far naming some of the key achievements.
There has been a decline of 47% of the complaints. Why? Because In Saudi Arabia, we have deployed Labor Tachi, who is constantly in touch with the detention center, and also with the bonding of the companies. They are more vigilant in solving the problems of the workers they externalize.
Despite recording some of the achievements, Honorable Betty Amwangi has acknowledged the challenges posed by some Ugandans who refuse to return to the country. As a result, actions will be taken by the United Arab Emirates. She has urged everyone to act responsibly during this festive season.
Few are still stuck in Dubai, and yet the agreement we had with UAE has lapsed. The biggest problem we are having with the Ugandans are those who have refused to come. We gave leverage for them to come. They refused to come, and most of them went underground, and they are not willing to come. So in that circumstance, UAE has now indicated that they will undertake arrests.
You are welcome back. And in our international news, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to take decisive action against the Houthi rebel group in Yemen, which is accused of increasing its involvement in regional security threats. The Houthis, a Shiite militia backed by Iran, have been involved in attacks targeting Israeli interests and are seen as a growing threat to stability in the Middle East.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to take decisive action against the Houthis following a missile strike on Tel Aviv. Netanyahu warned that Israel would target what he described as the last remaining arm of Iran's axis of evil. These are the visuals of Netanyahu inspecting weapons belonging to Hezbollah near Lebanon. The Prime Minister was checking Iran-backed group's mobile rocket launchers, among other weapons, which are confiscated by the IDF. Israeli military had failed to intercept the pre-dawn missile attack by the Houthis on Saturday. 16 people were injured in the attack, forcing many to flee. The strike on Tel Aviv marked the second attack on Israel by the Iranian-backed Houthis this week. The Houthis claim they are acting in solidarity with Palestinians who are embroiled in a conflict with Israel and Hamas in Gaza.
As we acted forcefully against the terror arms of Iran's evil axis, so we will act against the Houthis. Only in this case, we are not acting alone. The US and other countries see the Houthis as a threat not only to international shipping, but to the international order. Therefore, we will act forcefully with determination and sophistication. I tell you, even if it takes time, the result will be the same result as against the other terror arms.
Netanyahu's latest comments came after the US claimed it launched airstrikes targeting Yemen's rebel-held capital Sana'a hours after the Houthis hit Tel Aviv. Now, according to the US Central Command, the targeted strikes included a Houthi missile storage center and a command and control facility. In addition to the airstrikes, US forces also intercepted and destroyed multiple Houthi drones and an anti-ship cruise missile over the Red Sea. Analysts say the action by the US demonstrates its commitment to protecting its interests and allies in the region. Meanwhile, Yemen's Houthi military spokesperson Yahya Sarriah claimed that they had targeted the aircraft carrier USS Harry Truman and accompanying destroyers in the Red Sea. They claimed the operation resulted in the downing of an F-18 aircraft. Contradicting Houthis' claims, US military says that 2 US Navy pilots were shot down over the Red Sea in an apparent case of friendly fire. The US Central Command says that a full investigation is currently underway into that incident. The latest escalation comes as Israeli jets launched a series of strikes against energy and port infrastructure in Yemen on December 19th. Israeli officials said this was in response to hundreds of missile and drone attacks launched by the Houthis since beginning of the Gaza war 14 months ago. As the war in West Asia spills over, the Israeli government shared images of Netanyahu's security cabinet meeting in northern Israel on Sunday, where the officials examined weapons and war materials it said were seized in the south of Lebanon. They also visited a mock tunnel and a mock command center that the Prime Minister's office said was similar to those found during operations in Lebanon. Now, highlighting the worsening and aid situation to the besieged Gaza Strip, aid group Oxfam says that out of the 34 trucks of food and water given permission to enter North Gaza Governorate over the last 2 months,
And now let us take a look at our headlines. In our headlines tonight, industrial sector performance financial year 2023-2024. Industry continues to be a key driver to Uganda's economic growth through creating jobs, Minister Bahati states.
The manufacturing subsector of industry continues to be a key driver for Uganda's economic growth, creating jobs, fostering innovation, and driving GDP growth.
Also tonight, Minister of Education and Sports Janet Museveni urges the youth to leverage ICT training with innovation during the award ceremony for the 12 students who excelled at the global final of the 8th Hawaii ICT competition.
Let me take this opportunity to encourage you and all the younger people who are privileged to be skilled in this field to build onto and leverage ICT training with innovation, which is today's competitive advantage in every sphere of society.
And in international news, Netanyahu vows to take action against Houthis. As we come to the close of our bulletin, thank you for staying tuned to News at 8 here at Church of Uganda Family TV with me, Hope Nyongereza, and on the sign language, Tonena Raymond. We wish you a blessed night.